A taper is an angled cut made across the face of a board. It can be cut with the blade set at 90 degrees to the saw's table, or with the blade tilted. The degree of taper is usually expressed as the amount per foot of length. For example, this taper is 1 inch per foot. To cut a taper on the table saw, you must use a jig. There are several types of jigs that can be used. An adjustable jig allows you to change the degree of taper. There is a scale which shows the taper in degrees and amount per foot. Set the taper according to the scale and make your cut, much like making a rip. To cut a taper using an adjustable jig, first lay out the taper on your board. Determine the amount of taper per foot and set the jig accordingly. With your test piece in the jig, slide the fence over until the blade appears to enter the stock at the correct location. Back the stock off, turn on the saw, and push the jig and stock through. Push on the jig, not the stock, and keep your fingers away from the blade. A fixed taper jig can be made for repeat tapers. This particular jig is a 2-operation jig used to cut the sides for a tapered box. The notches of the jig were cut out on a bandsaw. The shallow notch is used for the first cut. The deeper notch is used for the second cut. The combined taper angle and blade bevel are determined by the number of sides and their amount of incline. There are charts available to determine these angles. If you have a number of cuts to make, take the time to make a dedicated jig to hold your part. Not only will the operation be safer, but you'll probably find the parts will be more consistent as well. Here is a jig which can be used to cut tapers of any angle safely and accurately. Begin by setting the distance between the blade and the fence to the same as the width of the jig. This will give you your cut line. Be careful not to trap the jig between the blade and the fence as you push down on the fence's lock handle. The fence can move and push the jig into the blade. Lay out the taper on the stock and secure it in place, making sure the entry and exit points of the taper line up with the cut line. Multiple taper cuts can be made by securing stop blocks on the jig for rapid positioning of the part.